Hello, good morning, and thank you. First of all, I want to thank you, Ricardo, and all of the organization of the FSS-congres conference, and also for the opportunity to be here today, and all of this week in the exchange of experts also. Well, I'm Ana Figueras. I'm the research manager in risk, emergencies, and civil protection in the Institute of Public Security of Catalonia, in one of the parts of the institute, in the School of Firefighters of Catalonia. And I will speak, or I will want to give you an overview of the research that we do in Catalonia, in the government of Catalonia. In this title, I want to say that there are some words that for me are important. One is my institution, the Institute of Public Security of Catalonia. Another is Catalonia, of course, my region inside Spain. And then a little bit of research, that is what I work in. Oops, where is? Here. Perfect. Okay, first of all, Catalonia. Catalonia is, no, I tell you what I explain who we are and what we are doing, because it's important for the subject that then we have and related with fires, okay? We are one of the 17 autonomous regions of Spain. In the north, we touch with France and Andorra. We have 300 kilometers of coast in the Mediterranean Sea with a lot of harbors. We have big harbors like in Barcelona or Tarragona, but we have a very little harbors for sportive, principally sportive activities. And we have, I will read you some numbers. Approximately 28% of the land of Catalonia is used for groups, 15 are meadows and pastures, 1% are rivers, 7% are urban or developable areas, and 43% are forest. Why I say this to you? Because our main problem or our main target are the forest fires, not also the urban fires or the dwelling fires, as you have here more in Netherlands, if I'm not disconnected with all the conference, sorry. Okay? These days, for example, I think that yesterday finished, we had a forest fire in October. For the last 5 days burning in the mountains, in the Pyrenees, 400 of hectares were burned, and luckily there are not people living there, and the firefighters decide to look at the evolution of the fire to, instead of going to the mountains. They are going to the mountains, of course. There are a lot of helicopters, planes working there. But one of our most target is the forest fires. Okay? We have this data. The capital is Barcelona, as you know, and we have two languages, Catalan and Spanish, and a little bit of English, sorry. Well, in Catalonia, we have law to organize, in the state of Spain, there are some competencies, some laws that are directly passed to the region. In Catalonia, we have all the competencies to work in the emergency. The emergency systems do it all for us. And in this, in Catalonia, the emergency system is formed, as a lot of countries, of course, by police. Of course, we have a regional police, local police, and also the Spanish police is working also in Catalonia. And we have the fire and rescue emergency services, and we have two main groups of firefighters. The firefighters of Generalitat, of the government of Catalonia, and the firefighters of the city of Barcelona. Barcelona has his own firefighters. The firefighters of the government are structured in 7 regions of emergency around all the Catalonia, and they are professionals. And we have also volunteer firefighters. Okay? We also have emergency medical system, the rural agents, civil protection. All of them are controlled by the 112 call phone, as in the rest of Europe. Okay? Why I tell you this? Because in the government, in the Ministry of Home Affairs, is where all of these groups are controlled or distributed or managed. The government, the Ministry of Home Affairs. And in the Ministry of Home Affairs, my institution is inside this ministry. We have a structured way to decide which are the subjects that we will research about. Okay? first of all, okay, I did it first. Okay, when there are a proposal, the proposal can be from Europe directly to arrive to the government, or because leading to the calls that the UA normally do every X time. The proposal is led to the technical specialist in the government, and they send to every one of the organizations that are doing research in police, firefighters, civil protection, in the school of firefighters, school of police, in order that we can evaluate if this proposal could be interesting for us or not. And then, when we have the answer of all the unities, we can coordinate between us. We, in the school, it's very difficult to do a lot of research, doing a lot of experiments, or, for example, most with real fires, because we need the firefighters. And there are another organization. And for a lot of research, we coordinate together. It's the school with the firefighters, with the operational firefighters. Okay? It's on. In the government, as I told you before, that our main subject are the forest fires. We have two European projects, Age 2020, about forest fires. One is Life Pinassa, and the other is Life Montserrat. They are very related to, not to one to another, but the main object is the same. Pinassa, it refers to the black pinus forest that we have a lot in the Mediterranean area. And it's a project to, I will read, because it's not my area of knowledge. It's very difficult. And to have knowledge about the localization of the strategic area for manage the protection of the habitats of this forest. And they do a lot of burn prescript. See? Yes, it's of fire. Normally, the firefighters in Catalonia in the forest do sometimes prescribed burns. You understand me? Yes, it's the correct prescribed burn. Sorry. Okay. And one of these, and in this project, there are a lot of prescribed burns. And then we have Life Montserrat. That Montserrat is our mountain that we have in the middle of the country, and it's our center. In Montserrat, there are tourists, there are religion, and there are mountains, and there are people that go to climb the mountains. And there is also a place with a high risk of forest fires, and we have also a project in this area. Okay? Well, returning to our system of emergencies, where all these people get trained in our school. All of them come to the Institute of Public Security of Catalonia to have the training. All the police of Catalonia, all the firefighters of Catalonia, and the Barcelona city, all come to us to be formed. And this is a class. It's not a typical class. We do a lot of classes, operational classes, practical, as I suppose, like you. Okay? Well, who we are? We are the institution of Catalonia. This is the Catalan Public Safety and Security System Center for the Creation and Transfer of Knowledge. We create knowledge with the research, and we transfer to our firefighters, and especially in the School of Police. Okay? And we have three areas in the institution. We have training, of course. We are an institute of training. We have selection, because we do also the selection to enter in a group of firefighters or police. And we have a little bit of research. I want to be, this will be bigger, but this is not the reality. Okay? Only a little view of the training that we do. It begins when you are only a firefighter. The idea is that at the end, you will be a commander with your car, commanding all the firefighters. Okay? And for this, you need formation. You need first a part of training that is more technical, and then to be a good commander, you need more studies related with the university or a master. We do all of this. The first part, the technical part, we have an homologate title from the government of Catalonia, from the educational government, the part, Ministry of Catalonia, and during all the career of a firefighters, they can achieve to have this title related to emergencies and civil protection. Different, okay? If anyone has any question, then I can answer, but I think that it's not the main object of the conference. Okay. And the research. Well, when I was doing my PhD, I will talk a little bit about me. I think that in research in a capital letters. Research is the most important, having data, analyzing data, having a lot of population, a lot of numbers, the mortality of my, I don't remember the name, Mostra? Well, the sample, yes, sorry. The mortality of my sample. But when I enter in the institute doing research, I say that, well, research, one day, I hope, will be in capital letters, but at this moment, no. Why? This is our organization. I am here. But if you read here, we have an office of university, education, research, and knowledge management. But the research is doing here. We have a problem. From the organization say that I am depending by this area, but really I am working in this area. Why? Because the strategic lines of the institute say that the research is very important. It's important, Ricardo told before, no? If we research, then we can train better our firefighters. And they can do better its work. And for this reason, I have to be directly related with the firefighters. If I am in an office without any connection with the firefighters, it's very difficult for me to know which areas of research could be important or not. This is the reason. We have an office of university because we have a degree of security in the school. Then I will explain you a little bit. With police, happens the same. The person that has the research in the police school is depending on this area, but is working directly with the police. It's the same structure. Which activities we do? We, of course, debate and knowledge diffusion. We participate in international research programs, projects. We do international cooperation, a little bit. We do conferences and seminars, and the research groups that are our tool to do research in the school. Well, here you have some of the conferences and the knowledge that we share during 3 last years, more or less. As you could see, there are events about the emergency management in certain scenarios, learning from the experience. This is all the part of human factor, how to decide. We have a lot of work in this area in Catalonia, especially with the forest fires. We have a very good group of analysts that they are all day analyzing how the fire develop and which are the variables or the index exactly to decide how the firefighters have to act. Of course, we have another of different types, as you could see, attention with people with disabilities, coordination of major emergencies in USA. We use a lot study of cases. I think it's very interesting to sharing knowledge, to invite someone from another country or from another area of knowledge to let us on to share its knowledge. Okay? And then the last that we celebrated there was this, that is an event about how to manage radioactive and nuclear risk. It was led 10 days ago. And it's a workshop about radioactive and nuclear risk. And I think that from this type of activities, we find areas of research. We can find areas about how to improve and how to improve our training on the operational area. Okay. One more. We have also publications. I think that it is the same that in all areas of research or on all of. And the groups of research. I want to tell you a little bit how we structure these groups of research. These groups are composed by people coming from different areas. People coming from the academic world, professional world, emergency staff. And the main goal is to share practices, to innovate, and to create new knowledge. What happened? Normally, one firefighter or one commander, or normally it's from the operational area, has an idea and say, well, how I can research in this area. We have a lot of, some instructors, no, not a lot, no. How many you are? 5, 6, 7 instructors physically always in the school. But there are a lot of trainers that we have around all the firefighters station, and they have a lot of ideas. And with working with the government, sometimes could be difficult to find a way to look or budget or aims or the tools to do research. And we use these groups of research. These groups of research are liderated by one person specialized in the area, that is the leader, who will take the research going on and on and on. Okay? And then there are, of course, university specialists, because we need the university. The research that we did in the school is not out from the university. They have the tools, they have the data, they have the knowledge how to analyze our data, and we need them. And my work is to organize these research groups. I cannot be a specialist in everything. You could see then in the next slides in which areas we have and the amount of research groups we had and we will have. And I can be an expert of everything. And we use this figure, this tool of research groups to organize. We do a lot of meetings during the year. We structurate the time of the experiments, the results, how to do then a conference, or how to do a report. This is my job, okay? Okay, and the areas of research go directly. Okay. I think I'm going okay with time? Yes? Okay. Well, we have 3 areas of research. The training and learning process, of course. The training and learning process, we are a training institution. Of course, we innovate in training and learning. The human factor. And, of course, fire and science we are doing. No, I look at Ricardo because he knows why. I'm here for him. Okay, we will begin by human factor. I don't know if they're good translation. Okay. Oh my God. I won't be red, don't worry. We have some projects. We had one project, is in the 7 projects of the European Union. Okay, this is BESECU. This is a Finnish project that want to investigate and compare ethnic differences of human behavior against fire and all in different situations of crisis, natural disasters, terrorist attacks, and emergency, in order to improve how to improve the communication and the procedures in order to be better for the public security and to facilitate the evacuation and the protection of the victims. This is one of the projects that we have that is publicated, and I think it's very interesting, and I want to share with you. It's finished, but I think that it's important to share not only what we are going on, also what we finish. Okay. Then we have this. This is a RECFIRE project. Well, this is a project that for us it's very new. Why? It's more related with the area of sociological or not psychological, not also, more sociological area. Because we want to analyze if the training that we are doing at school and the work experience that all the firefighters have along all the career has any impact on their attitudes, on their beliefs, on their opinions about the profession and about the organization, in order to improve, on one side, the selection of the new firefighters, the training also, and to avoid the burnout syndrome. Okay? We are in the beginning of this project. This project came from an idea, the Stud Data project of University of Oslo, and in the School of Police they are doing 6 years ago, it's with at this moment, and it's a longitudinal study. I think it's a very big study. We just began last month. And there are, we evaluate in the beginning of the training, during the first, second week that they are at the school, at the end of the training, before they know the marks for their training, because it's better, at 3 years of working, and then at 6 years of working. Well, these are the data that we have. And I think that I will have work until January 23 at this moment. Then I don't know if there are no firefighters or not. At this moment, I have work for this. Okay, I think that this is an interesting study because you know, as a firefighters, most of you, that when you had an ideal imagination of what will be your life being a firefighter when you are a child and when you enter in the school. And then when you are working, you are related with the organization, is changing. And all of these opinions, attitudes, beliefs can affect in the way you work. And for us, it's important to know this in order to improve the training and improve the taking care of all the firefighters to be better at work. It's the same in all the professions, but in firefighters, I think that it is the only country that are doing this with firefighters. Oslo told us in this way. And then we have serious games. We like games, computer games. No? Today we are doing with Pokemon Go, looking for Pokemons. No? Or with FIFA, with football. Okay, we play a lot. But we want that our firefighters play in a serious way. And what we use the serious games, we don't use for all the firefighters. We use for commanders. It's our human factor study related with taking care of the commanders. Some of you say, oh, it's not necessary. Yes, it's necessary. They are taking the decisions, the important decisions of what to do in front of every situation. And it's important to take care and to train them. And in which areas we want to train? In strategic analysis, in problem solving, in decision making, and in work organization. Most of them are firefighters. They know all the operational ways of finishing with a fire. But when you are a commander, you have to lead with people and to command a group of people. And this is not, perhaps it's easier. It's easier to attack a fire than not to manage a group of people. I don't know if you think the same, but and using serious games, using computer simulation, we're trying that our commanders will be well-formed. This, I'm sorry, I cannot show this because this is a project that we are working with a school of serious games. There are a school in Catalonia that prepare the pupils to do the games that we use in the apps or we use in the computer. And one area of them want to do serious games, what we call also gamification, or the computer to learn. And we have a law agreement with this school, and they are working with us to helping to do these computer simulations. And I think that it's a project that we call win-win, because we win with their knowledge about computers, and they win because they can interact with the government, with a real organization, and opening their mind in a profession that normally it's not, the citizens don't know very well. Okay? For example, next week we have planned that these students of these studies of computer will come to the school. We will dress them as a firefighters and put in situation, doing things that normally we do when we train firefighters. Because in this way, they could understand better how to do the computer simulations. It's a big project. OK, then fire and science. This is the objective. OK, some old studies, explosions and fires, new generation vehicles. These are the studies that were born with a research group, and in this case, there is a case study, and in this, they collected the main risk of the new generation vehicles to have more information about this. These are the main results that we have. If you want more information about this, then I can give you. Okay? And then we have a group in harbors. Do you remember that I told you that we have 300 kilometers of coast in Catalonia, and we have a problem with how to extinguish a fire in a harbor, not in a big harbor as Barcelona don't have these problems, but also in the little harbors with little ships. And we realize that sometimes, or the most of the times, the people that is working in the harbor are not well trained to attack a fire. And when they call to the firefighters arrive late. And the problem is the collateral problems, the collateral areas. One ship sends to another ship, and it's a big problem for this. Okay? And we are doing a guide for measures against fires. Okay? Then we have a group on computational simulation. In this group, we work together with university, with Universitat Politècnica de Catalunya. The center is called CERTEC, where they are specialists in fire. Okay? And with the collaboration with Firefighters of Barcelona. In Barcelona, they are doing a lot of things related with computational simulation, and I think that are very interesting. I'm not an expert, as I told you, but I try to do my best explaining this. Okay. The idea is this. No? You could see, find scientific arguments to create new regulation parameters that will give confidence as a part of fire prevention. When someone wants to construct a big area of commercial area, in Catalonia, the firefighters have to say, give a report saying, okay, the construction is well done in the prevention laws say, but sometimes they feel that they need more scientific arguments to do this report very well. And this is the reason of the group. This is the group that born in the area of prevention. They come to the school and say, please, can we work in this area? It's this how we work, okay? And then in Barcelona, in the City Council of Barcelona, they work in 3 areas of simulation. One is the pedestrian simulation, one other is the fire simulation, and a software to perform safety and risk analysis for the chemical industry and transport of dangerous goods. In the port of Barcelona, there are a lot of products, and they have to be transported around all the region and all the country, and it's better to have this analysis. In the area of computer simulation, on the fire simulation, they want to check the fire safety of a new projects, as I told you, buildings, tunnels, or a new construction, to know how they can help to improve the safety of this project before the project is done. And this is the idea. We have a university study of the ending of a degree about fire simulation in a building, doing, I don't want to say, but with ozone simulation, okay. And I think that they want to compare also with FDS. Okay. Okay. Perfect. It's so technical for me. Then another interesting project, I think that it's very interesting, are the pedestrian movement simulation, calculation the evacuation times of an area. In Barcelona, we have every weekend an activity. But not an activity of one people, an activity with a lot of people. Or football, or concerts, or demonstrations, or running. They're every weekend. The people that live in the city of Barcelona lives directly this situation. And they need to know how the crowd could be managed and how the crowd is behaving in this situation. And they are working a lot with this calculation of evacuation times. I think that's a very interesting project. I can give you the contact of the group of the persons the people that are working in this. And then the one that I told you, the consequences of chemical accidents. Here is an image of the port, the harbor of Barcelona, and this tries to establish with the chemical transport, if the calculation of the toxic and flammable cloud dispersion, the thermal radiation in case of fire of ball, the overpressure in case of explosion, and this is to establish safe zones for the population. Okay? And this also, it's not only research for research. This could be directly put in place in the training. for our firefighters and civil protection. Okay? And then we have this. You know what's this? What's this? A bomb. No. Are thermal cameras, fire cams. Okay? And what we use this to put where? In the helmet. Yes. And when we use this, we have a project of dueling fires. I will explain you. I try to do my best in explaining this. Okay? This is, we call a SPEW project, but it's a translation, it's do by the capital letters in Catalan, but the meaning is Urban Fire Prediction System. We want to develop a dynamic urban risk index. I explain you a little bit. In forest fires, the experts were studying during a lot of time. We are the index that determine where a forest fire will increase or decrease in order to have the correct decision to attack this fire. And the idea of the person, I personalize in the person that has this idea, is to do the same with the dueling fires. How, when a commander or when a group of firefighters arrive to a fire in a flat or in a building, can determine if the fire will be going on or not, and how this could affect the decision to attack on one side or another one side, or open a window or close a window or the other door. Okay? And this index wants to identify the scene quickly and objectively, foreseeing the potential immediate, if better or worse, and determine the action plan in the more effective, efficient, and secure way for the people that is inside and for also the firefighters. Okay? The idea is to analyze from all the points of views, have a global information, and characterize the smoke in the time scale, in a dynamic pressure, color, volume. Okay? And we have two scenarios. I explain you how is the experimental project. This is a project that is going on. It's a work in progress at this moment. We have one controlled scenarios and one real scenario. Okay? We did all the work in the controlled scenario, and we are doing now the open and real scenario. Okay? And how we do? With the controlled scenario, it's in Reus. In Reus, it's one of the fire stations that we have in Catalonia, where we have our containers of flashover. And this controlled scenario is doing in these containers of flashover. They were we're doing a lot of experiments, as so many as you do, no? With flashover, with the containers, putting inside furniture, and with ventilation, without ventilation, recollecting a lot of data to read, to describe and modeling the scenario type, integrating the fuel and its peculiarities in relation to the smoke, reading the smoke, and characterize the smoke and its relevance factors. From all the data that they recollected from the controlled scenario, they did a sheet to collect data in the real scenario. I will show you, this is typical for you, I suppose, but how they did. It's a ventilated situation, as you can see, of course. The reality is not so silent. As you could imagine, we don't move so quickly in firefighters in Catalonia. Okay? This is the idea. They were collecting a lot of data. This is a typical thing that you do normally for experimental, no? I think that it's not nothing more. And Certec, here you could see, Certec is the center of the University Polytechnic of Catalonia expertise in fires. And from all this data collected, from all these graphics of temperatures and all of this, they create this sheet to collect data. And here we have the hour, the place of observation, outside, inside, a photo, and some data from the evolution and ventilation, the smoke and the flame, it's correct? The fire, yes, okay. And the heat and the fuel. And the commander that is in the fire have the thermal camera in the helmet and is recording all the situation, okay? And then, when finished, they can put all this data. It's only 3 times on the recording, at the beginning, in the middle, more or less, and at the ending, okay? And the real situation that it's done now directly by the firefighters of Generalitat, as I told you, we work together. The first part was doing in the school, the second part is doing in real cases. We do it in some selected headquarters, selected by if they have or not thermal cameras, because we have the money that we have to buy some cameras, and the motivation of the commanders, of course. Then they do all of this, that it's the same. And this is an example of one sheet full. The photos perhaps are not the best, but you could see here at the beginning, the place, the hour, the next hour, and here it's increasing, developed, and going down. And some of the, it's functioning, yes. And some of the data, the color is gray, no turbulence, for example, in the first, high density, there are not active flame. And with all of this data, they want to try to find an index. I say try because when you do experimentation, there are hypotheses, no? The null and the real, and the hypothesis 0 and hypothesis 1, and you have to try to know if it's possible or not. But I think that's an interesting project. With all the data, we will create all the index. And then, to go ending this presentation of all the projects that we are working on, I will talk a little bit only about training and learning process. That is one of our subjects at the school, one. We try to be to do innovations in learning process, and now we are working in a corporative e-learning analysis. We do a lot of e-learning training in the school, because we have all the firefighters in all the country, and it's difficult for them going to the school so many times. We do a lot of e-learning, and we are doing a study with this university dissertation about the perception of the e-learning and the digital profile of our firefighters to improve them. Then we have a project, a line that is a strategic line of the government. It's to involve the citizens in the emergencies. And we do a massive online, open online course, a MOOC. Okay? We did a MOOC about security in the mountain activities. I think that perhaps in the mountain activity, perhaps this is the same in the nature, no? People in Catalonia go to Decathlon, buy some boats, some trousers, and a jacket to say, oh, I know how to climb a mountain. And then when they are in the top of the mountain, say, oh, I don't know how to go down. 112, please, firefighters, come to me. And with this MOOC, we try to involve the citizens in their own safety and in the prevention. Always is the same, I think, prevention. Okay? And now we are working in a new MOOC about how to make that the citizens be aware that they can change from a victim in an emergency to be an active agent to help the operative groups in an emergency. Not only a victim that waits for helping, if not a person that can do active things in order to be more safety. Then, as I told you in the beginning, we are a university center also. The Institute of Public Security is a university center. We are a university center of the Universitat de Barcelona. We are part of them. And we have a degree in security. This is a new degree that we created 3-4 years ago. Actually, we have a 4 years study. And actually, we have our students at third course. and I cannot say anything more. But I think that it is a good area and a good idea to promote more research. We are related directly with the university because we are university, and we have more budget, more resources, more tools to do this type of studies. Then we have a master in the area of police, and a master with the Universitat of Barcelona about safety. It's a master in fire and civil protection. It's a safety in engineering. Only a little vision. There are two main areas, the graduate in fire engineering and a graduate on civil protection. And it's to make, the idea is that the people that do this master can have all the information and all the formation, all the training to analyze fires in the case of the area of the fire engineering, and to be good at civil protection and risk analysis in this situation with a lot of people. Okay? Well, to end, some of you yesterday, I saw some faces that are similar. Do you know what is a QR code, no? What we use the QR code? We use to, it's our final project. We used to have to give to our firefighters an instant access to the knowledge that they, for a while, have not remember at this moment, as we could see. We have a QR code, in the tools. We are trying at this moment. It's a pilot study at this moment. We put these QR codes in some tools in the engines for the firefighters, and then can, using this video that opens with a QR code, it see a video that has a maximum duration of 29 seconds without audio and graphics to remember the thing that they don't remember. In a way, not firefighting area. If I don't remember how to cut and paste in Word, for example, I can choose. Or I ask Deborah, how I can do? But if Deborah is not here, how I can do? If I have a QR code, in the QR code with a little video, I can remember. Okay? This is not a training, it's a project that we have about remembering knowledge you have. And we think that it's interesting to involve all the firefighters with the school and with the training. Okay? It functions with the mobile, it's catching the image, and this is how it works. It's a big firefighter, eh? We have a big firefighter there. Yes, I understood. Okay, perfect. And that's all. Thank you very much for your attention. I don't know if it's what you but if you have any questions, please ask.
Thank you very much, Anna, that you gave us an insight.
I'm on time.
You are on time.
Perfect.
Compliments for that. Thank you very much that you gave us an insight what you do, and it's a wide range of subjects you do, and I think that you should write down research in capitals. Absolutely.
I will try.
Any questions to Anna? Yes, please. Wait a minute.
I want to.
I love this.
Yes. Serious game. This is serious game. Yes.
Achter je. Ja, daar gaat hij. Graag even je naam en dan in de microfoon.
Mijn naam is Mark Nuitemans en ik ben brandveiligheidsadviseur bij Crit Ingenieurs in Dordrecht. You were talking about forest fires being a major concern in Catalonia. I was wondering if you took out a lot of the part of fighting forest fires for this presentation, because you thought that, well, for Dutch context it might not be relevant. Is it for the research department? Is that also the biggest focus?
Rafael will. If the forest fires are the biggest focus of our firefighting, not also. But we have a specialized group of firefighters that is all day working with fire in forest and analyzing the data. And during all the year, prescribed burns in different parts of Catalonia in order to attack. Because during the summer, from June to October, it's our high season. And we have to contract more people to against firefighters because we have a lot. This year, for example, we don't have a big fire, luckily, but we have a lot of firefighters. And we have a problem, actually, with the raining. And it's a main problem that, and how to manage the forest. It's a problem that there are a lot of people working on this. But not only firefighter. Of course, in Barcelona, there is not a group specialized in forest fires. Barcelona has a little mountain, and there are not big trees. Okay, they work a lot with dueling fires, especially.
Thank you.
And rescues in buildings and in elevators.
Thank you. Other questions? No hands. If that is so,
thank you
very much.
You're welcome.
Anna Figuera, Massip.
It's all right.